Hi everyone, it is me again, the Global Palaweño Architect, Architect Jefferson Bulan, and today we are going to talk about history of Moorish landscaping, the Indian, Spanish, and Turkish. This pre-recorded video is a requirement to one of my subjects under my master's degree program at University of San Carlos, Cebu. So this is a requirement to interior landscaping subject. So let's proceed. It is all because of the term patio, which is in Spain. It started in Spain in the 8th to 14th century Anno Domini after its conquest by the Arabs and formerly known as the Moors. Now let's go deeper. The origin of the Moorish landscaping. Moors are the Arabic Muslims who crossed the seas and controlled the large parts of southern Europe for many centuries. Then, the Moors, which are now called the Arabs, conquest Spain in Europe, and then a special form of garden called patio were created. It is a closed type garden. Uh, it's an ancient tradition combined with the Persian gardens, and the concept was merged. So as you can see here in the map, uh, the Islam, from the Arabs to the Moors. So there is a conquest happened by that time. Characteristics and features. Now let us talk about the specific features or the distinctive features of a Moorish landscaping for us to know or for us to identify whenever we see a landscaping. We can tell to ourselves that okay, this is a type of Moorish landscaping because it has these features and so on and so forth. So traditionally, this paradise garden interpreted with central axis with long pads or water channels. Water flow set walled courtyard. So as you can see on the picture at the lower right of the presentation, so basically it would look like that with fruity trees and fragrant plants. So it gives sensory experience. Why sensory experience? Because aside from having a visual experience when seeing the aesthetic value of it, you also have this sensual working feeling in a sense that you can smell the different types of plants because for Moorish landscaping there are certain plants that they're using because of its fragrance like the orange, and there are several more types by that time. It has refreshing coolness also, humidity, sounds, greenery, and fragrance. This type of garden is compatible to Spain, having hot and dry climatic conditions. So it's one factor that it's good for Spain, no, the Moorish landscaping is because of their climate. Shade elements, arcades, pergola, and pavilion. Mosaic tiles. So mosaic tiles are one of the very distinctive features of a Moorish landscaping. So when you go to other places, I'm talking about the current or the existing modern Moorish landscaping, these mosaic tiles are still present. But just to clear, we are now talking about the history of Moorish landscaping. So for the mosaic tiles, it is decorative and seating paving elements. Let's proceed. It has also garden isolated on terrace, palaces, and walls. Patios purpose relaxation, meditation, therefore presence of ponds and fountains. It is very generic for a Moorish landscaping to have these water features. It consists of simplicity and uniqueness. Uniqueness in what way? In a way that they are having specific plants to be used, and there are certain patterns that are very common to every Moorish landscaping. Water is primary motive. So at some point, no, not at some point, always, water feature or water is existing in a Moorish landscaping. Even nowadays, in the modern Moorish landscaping, they're still using water features. Plants like cypress, oranges, and oleander are used, being suitable to conditions. And aside from conditions, the fragrance. Planted freely, trimming did not adapt, lawn were not used due to hot and dry climate, or decorative paving done, especially on the surface or on the ground. Small drinking fountains, ponds with lotus cools the temperature. So whenever you see lotus to some of the landscaping, it's not always Moorish landscaping. Please take note that there are also other landscaping types of landscaping that uh, flourished with lotus. So this is not only specific to the Moorish landscaping. So now, one of the best examples for the Moorish garden or the Moorish landscaping is the Palacio de Generalife, known as Architect's Garden, created in the 13th century as summer place and country estate of Moorish King Granada in Al-Andalus. So please see the description because I will be attaching some links that will direct you to some of the YouTube channels that are featuring the Granada or the Moorish garden in Granada in Al-Andalus. So there you can see real and the real life scenario inside the Granada or in the Palacio de Generalife. So it consists of Patio de la Acequia, the Court of Water Channel or Water Garden Courtyard. Generalife, it is called the Garden of Loft Paradise, Garden of Feast, also called as the Orchard. So you must also know who's the architect is Yanat Al-Arif. Garden on Hill region here, the kings would escape enjoy themselves high above or closer to heaven. Same with the concept of Tower of Babel, if you are familiar with that, which is it is a myth also written in the scriptures of the Bible at the Genesis. So Tower of Babel, if you are familiar to that, the concept of building that tower is for them to be high above the heavens. So it's just one of the examples, not for the Moorish garden, but the concept of being closer to heaven. Next is this is one of the oldest gardens surviving, having walkways with mosaic pebbles from nearby river. climate is hot. Even in autumn, it is 35 degrees Celsius. Limited plants can grow like buxus, cypress, citrus, roses. So as you can see to the attached pictures, some of the patterns and some of the methods used by the old landscapers are still present nowadays. I can see some landscaping nowadays who are using these patterns, but if you can observe, still the pattern of these pebbles are in a way that it still looks like a mosaic or an Arabic pattern. Its geometric patterns are uh, very clear and evident that it is still a mosaic type of pattern. So now, outer parts of garden, it contains fruit trees like pomegranates and walnuts. Diba? Social. General life consists of lower garden, consists of flower plants, trees, shade elements, while the upper garden, upstairs by water stairway has water canal courtyard. So, on the lower picture, sorry, that's the one that is being said. So courtyard completely closed in with walls lined with gorgeous long fountain down the center. Mathematical design of symmetrical shapes, the star-shaped bush. So it is shown in the upper right picture. In general life, one can see amazing gardens that seems to continue to rise various levels. It is not just a plain one or a flat one, but it is like a terrain. So based on further readings, there are still wonders and there are specific systems that the landscapers and designers or the architect used for the flow of water so that the water can reach every parts of the gardens. Another side, Granada Township, white houses with tile roof on distant mountains, citrus fruity odor which follows everywhere, with rose spotted all over the garden. Lower garden, then upper garden by water stairway, but uh, that water stairway, there is still a trick used by the architect or the designer from where it came from or the source. So that would be for further readings, maybe, if you are interested on that part. But they have a certain system there, they have a certain specific facility for that. Water stairway is 3 level of stairs, 3 flights, with pond in middle of each section and water flowing down the side of stairway via channels. So from that channel, the water will flow from the topmost up to the lowest part of the garden. So this is the one that they're telling us, the stairway with the fountain in every or pond in every in between. At top of the water stairway is the highest point of Generalife. This is the top level of garden, showing scenario of Granada, where one feel the peace, so true said, closer to heaven experience. But based on history of, I mean, the different types of architecture from different areas like the Mesopotamian, the Aztec, the ancient Egypt, everyone who does towers before, or very high structures, or maybe the it's like the skyscrapers of nowadays, it is because of some, for religious belief, that they want to have the feeling of being closer to heaven, or their leader wants to see or portray to their people that they have the power. So maybe this Moorish landscaping also have this concept of having an impression of having the power and being closer to heaven, since as we all know that based on history, some of the leaders of the past are not only the leader of the government, but they are also the leader of, or I mean the god. He is known as the god and the leader of the community. So these are just the examples for the Moorish landscaping pertaining to the existing ones, and some approach are already modern, but as you can see, patterns and mosaic tiles are still present. So whenever you see tiles like that, it's very Spanish, it's very Turkish. So this one is also present at Granada, but this is the courtyard of lions. So the system for the water, or the fountain that, or I mean the water that comes from the mouth of every lions, are also very specific for this uh, for this structure, or for this fountain, which is the courtyard of lions. So also this one, I believe that this is also a picture taken from the Generalife, the Palacio de Generalife. So now this is the modern Moorish landscaping. It is a picture taken from the Palm, Dubai, in one of the hotels or luxury hotels there. So that's it. I hope you've learned something out of this presentation, out of this report, and I hope that my next uploaded video would be more about architecture of Palawan, more of the trends and more of the government projects for Puerto Princesa, Palawan. And please stay tuned to this channel. And I am happy to announce that YouTube already emailed me that my YouTube channel account is already able for monetization, and I am happy to announce that one. So as far as I can, I will make more videos that will push for the architecture profession. Once again, I am Architect Jefferson Bulan. Thank you for listening. And it is me, the Global Palaweño Architect, saying goodbye. Thank you for watching.